in the vast African savanna, where the golden grasslands stretched endlessly under the blazing sun and acacia trees provided sparse shade for the creatures who called this challenging land home. There lived a magnificent lion named Rex, who was known throughout the region for his strength and hunting prowess. Rex was indeed a formidable predator, with a powerful build, sharp claws, and the kind of commanding presence that made other animals step aside when he approached. He had earned his reputation through years of successful hunts and had established himself as one of the most feared and respected carnivores in the territory. However, despite his individual strength and skill, Rex had been struggling lately to catch enough prey to satisfy his substantial appetite. The herds of zebra and antelope had become more cautious and better organized, making it increasingly difficult for a lone hunter to approach close enough for a successful attack. After several days of failed hunting attempts and growing hunger, Rex decided that he needed to try a different approach. He would form a hunting partnership with other predators, combining their different skills and abilities to increase their chances of success. Rex approached 3 other animals who were also skilled hunters in their own ways: a swift fox named Vulpes, a powerful wolf named Lupus, and a cunning jackal named Canis. Each of these animals brought unique talents to the potential partnership.
My fellow hunters, I propose that we form a hunting alliance. Together, our combined skills will make us far more successful than any of us could be alone.
Vulpes, the fox, was intrigued by the proposal.
What did you have in mind, Rex? How would such a partnership work?
It's simple. We'll use each of our strengths to coordinate the hunt. Vulpes, your speed and agility can help us scout and chase prey. Lupus, your endurance and pack hunting instincts will help us coordinate the attack. Canis, your cunning can help us devise strategies for approaching different types of prey.
Lupus, the wolf, nodded thoughtfully.
And your strength, Rex, would be invaluable for bringing down large prey that might be too powerful for the rest of us to handle alone.
Exactly. Together, we'll be unstoppable. And of course, we'll share the results of our hunts fairly among all partners.
The 3 smaller predators were excited by this proposal. They had often watched Rex's successful hunts from a distance and knew that partnering with such a powerful hunter could significantly improve their own chances of securing regular meals.
It sounds like an excellent plan. When do we start?
The next morning, the 4 hunters set out together across the savanna in search of suitable prey. Their different skills quickly proved to be complementary in exactly the way Rex had predicted. Vulpes used his keen eyesight and speed to scout ahead and locate a small herd of antelope grazing near a watering hole. Canis devised a clever strategy for approaching the herd from multiple directions. Lupus coordinated the timing of their attack, and Rex provided the strength needed to bring down a large, healthy antelope. The hunt was a complete success, far more successful than any of them could have achieved working alone. The antelope they had caught was large enough to provide a substantial meal for all 4 hunters, and they gathered around their prize feeling pleased with their effective teamwork.
Excellent work, everyone. This partnership is going to work out perfectly.
The 4 hunters gathered around their prize, panting from the chase, but satisfied with their success. The antelope was large and healthy, and would provide a substantial meal. The smaller predators looked at each other with pleased expressions, already imagining the feast they would share. Their success had been remarkable. Vulpes had spotted the herd and tracked their movements with his keen eyes. Canis had devised the strategy for the ambush. Lupus had coordinated their movements to cut off the antelope's escape, and Rex had provided the raw power needed to bring the animal down. It had been true cooperation, and each had played his part perfectly. However, when it came time to actually divide the meat, Rex's demeanor suddenly changed. His friendly manner vanished, replaced by something harder and more commanding. He stepped forward and, with his powerful claws, deliberately cut the carcass into 3 portions. The three smaller hunters watched, their initial excitement giving way to unease. They had expected 4 shares, not 3. But they said nothing, curious to see how their leader would explain this division.
Now then, let me make clear how this meat will be distributed. The first share I will take because I am king of the beasts. That is my right by birth and station, and I trust none of you will dispute it.
Vulpes, Lupus, and Canis exchanged uncertain glances, but remained silent. Perhaps there was some logic to this they had not yet understood.
The second share belongs to me as your partner in this hunt. I contributed my strength and risked my safety alongside you. Surely you cannot object to a partner receiving his due portion.
The 3 smaller hunters began to realize with growing alarm that something was very wrong with this division. But before any of them could find the courage to speak, Rex placed his heavy paw deliberately on the third and final portion.
As for this last share, I strongly advise you to leave it exactly where it lies, unless any of you would care to dispute my claim.
He bared his teeth slightly, and a rumble rose from deep in his chest. His eyes, which moments ago had been friendly, now glittered with unmistakable threat. The fox, the wolf, and the jackal understood perfectly. No words were needed. Without speaking, they backed slowly away from the kill, their appetites forgotten in the face of naked power. They slipped into the grass and disappeared, leaving the lion alone to feast on the entire prize they had all worked together to win. Rex watched them go, then settled down to his meal, entirely satisfied with the outcome. Those who possess overwhelming power rarely feel bound by promises made when they needed help. When you enter into partnership with someone far stronger than yourself, you may find that their definition of fairness changes once your usefulness has been served. It is the nature of the powerful to take what they can, and the weaker must be content if they escape with no worse than disappointment.